Hi everybody. I've got a special announcement for you. I passed my stage 2 check. It was on Thursday. I was very nervous and I got it done. We flew up towards Bellingham, diverted to Arlington, did a couple of touch and goes, came back, had a couple little dicey moments there, and we can kind of talk through that when we're doing our simulator today, but I did it. And that means the very next thing is cross countries solo. Just me and the airplane. So I'm very happy. We're sort of seeing the end of this private pilot journey on the horizon, and I credit a lot of being ready for these examinations to the simulator. I think it's been a big help. So today we're going to fly out to a new and improved Tacoma Narrows Airport, thanks to the Orbex downloadable scenery pack, and I'm just looking forward to being up in the air again and working on those. I wouldn't say newfound skills, but newly validated skills that I keep building every day. So thanks for watching, and let's go fly. And like that, I'm in my airplane. So we're back here on the ground at Boeing Field like we always are. Today is a day of scattered clouds. I actually tried to fly for real today and ended up hitting the one rain pocket from 10 a.m. to 12 noon and couldn't fly. Did a lot of groundwork, and that was fine, but I want to fly this thing, right? I want to get up in the air. So that's what the simulator's for. I'm just simulating a single pilot today, me, myself, full fuel tanks, and we're going to head out to Tacoma Narrows. So it's not a long flight, but it's a fun flight, and we'll get to see the new scenery pack in action. So I'm excited to do that, and we will get started. There'll be no tablet today. I'm still having trouble with that connection, so you'll just have to trust that what you're hearing is backed up by some good information coming from my tablet, and I'll have mine running so that I have my reference, but shouldn't need it too much. One of the things that my check instructor told me is, while this is wonderful, the checklist, you really should be able to flow most of your operations. So do them from memory, then take your checklist out, and make sure you didn't miss anything. So we're going to try that today. Sound like fun? Okay. So, first things first, cold and dark airplane. We do a walk around. It is good to have the checklist out for that. When you're walking around, make sure you don't miss anything. Most of what we know, we need to take off the pitot covers. We need to take off all the remove before flight stuff. So we're going to do that. We're going to take the chocks off. We're going to take the tie downs off. All that stuff you understand. We're also going to go ahead and pop the control lock off. So that's looking good. We're going to go ahead and test and make sure that our master is providing power like it should. Our standby battery is working. We need to make sure the avionics are running. So let's go ahead and kick this on and get going. So master on. Make sure we're getting good signal here. Sure, that feels pretty good. Everything is live, low volts, low vacuum. That's all the stuff that we would expect. Hooray. Let's go ahead and bring the flaps down and make sure that they respond correctly. Those flaps have got to be coming down. And while the master is on, we're also going to turn on all our lights. Beacon, landing, taxi, nav, strobe. And we don't need pitot heat today. We would if it was visible moisture. Alright. Yeah, everything looks good. Lights are looking good. Let's go ahead and turn on each of the avionics buses. Bus 2. Super duper. I think we pulled the static there. Alright, so I think that's everything before we do the rest of the check. Pitot tube cover required. Ducts, yes. Magnetos off. Master switch on. Pitot to check on. Fuel quantity check. Fuel quantity. 24 per tank. Oil press low vac. Yeah. Avionics. Yep, we got that all. Sensors. Flaps, lights, pitot heat. Master switch off. Yeah. Hey, we remembered. Let's go ahead and turn off all those lights. We'll leave the flaps where they are. Flaps for trim for takeoff. Cool. The other thing that we're going to check, we're not doing a full walk around like we would in a real aircraft, but the other thing that we're going to want to check is make sure that our fuel is where we would expect it to be. It's me. I'm actually not quite that skinny. Sorry. Me, 20 pounds of baggage. I'm carrying some food to go see the family, and gross weight's good. We're in CG and we have full tanks, so hooray! Cool. Let's do our before starting engine. So pre-flight's complete. We're gonna get their seatbelts buckled in. Click. No passengers. We don't have a passenger briefing. Let's see what else. Circuit breakers off. Avionics and off, and fuel. So we're gonna put it both tanks. Make sure the fuel shutoff is pushed in, and that's what I recall. Let's see if I got it right. Pre-flight, yes. Passenger seats and seatbelts. Parking brake. Oh yeah, I gotta stand the brake. Circuit breakers, electrical equipment off, both, and push in. Yep. Before starting, checklist is complete. Okay, we're going to do the starting checklist now. I believe that starts with standby battery. So make sure the throttle and mixture are where they're supposed to be, and we'll go ahead and do a standby battery for 10 seconds. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Yep, that looks good. And armed. Cool. We'll bring that online, and we expect to see the all the indicators come online. We'll see a few things that aren't working. Obviously, we'll be showing to be on our standby battery, low vacuum, low volts. That's expected. We want over 24 on E. We want under 0.5 on M. We want no drain on M, and we want some drain on S. So that's correct. Everything here shows off, 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 off. Alrighty, and with that, I believe we turn on the master. Okay, we're seeing drain switch from master now. The standby battery is at 0. We expect standby to extinguish. It does. That's pretty awesome. Let's see, what else have we got to do this far? Beacon, right. Okay, so engine prime. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and pull the keys. I'm going to put the keys in like that. Alright, engine prime. We do have to prime it because, why? Because oil temperature is on the peg. It is a cold aircraft. So what we're going to do, we're going to go ahead and get ready on the fuel pump. Fuel pump on, rich for 3 seconds. 2, 3, off, fuel pump off. Alright, throttle ahead 1/4. Get a hand on the mixture here. Stick our head out. Clear prop. 2, 3, and get ready to push mixture. Nice. Did you see the prop wash slam the door on me? Should have had the door closed, don't you think? And turn off the starter. Turn those warnings off. Why don't we close that door? Open these vents here. Cabin heat, cabin air. Okay, throttle up to 1,000. Prop area clear, magneto start, mixture advanced, throttle 1,000. Oil pressure check green, amps in the positive. Oil pressure's green, amps are positive. Low volts annunciator check off, mixture lean is required. Alright, so we're going to go ahead and push it to 1,200 RPM. And we're going to lean it out. There we go, that's too lean. 3 full turns, rich of peak. There you go. Alright, make sure our starting engine checklist is complete. Throttle done, mixture, standby battery, did the standby battery, all the amps look good. Standby battery annunciator, yep. Master switch on, beacon on. Yep, we did the prime, we did the prop, we did the mixture, throttle. Oil pressure, amps, low volts are off. Mixture lean is required. We're going to go ahead and bring our throttle back to 1,000. Alright, starting engine checklist is complete. Alright, so what we want to do now, before we taxi, we're going to turn on the avionics, set our radios, ATIS alt heading, check our standby instruments, put the flaps up, parking brakes, and brakes test, and lights. Okay, so avionics on first. And I'm going to go ahead and connect to Pilot Edge.
Connected to Pilot Edge.
Booyah. Alright, next thing we want to do is get the weather.
Runway assignments and hold short instructions. Advise on initial contact. You have information, Sierra. Boeing King County Airport. His information Sierra. 2053 Zulu. Wind variable at 3. Visibility 10. 4,000 scattered. Ceiling 5,000 broken. Temperature 14. Dew point 7. Altimeter 29907. Arriving and departing runways 14 left, 14 right. Visual approaches in use. Simultaneous approaches between Boeing Field and Seattle Inter...
Cool. So, Brian KB Ski, hello from CYQT. Hello, Brian. All right. Hey, where's CYQT, I wonder? It sounds possibly Canada? Let's check it out. CYQT. Thunder Bay, Ontario. Shout out to Ontario. Love it. Oop, I was letting my RPMs drift up a little bit there. Okay, we talked about radios and switches, avionics and radios and transponders next. So we got the weather. I'm going to switch 118.3 there, and I've got 1219, which is ground on COM 2. So I'm going to switch over to COM 2 and set COM 2 mic because ground's the next people we're going to call. I'm also going to set 121. Actually, I'm going to set 12275, and I'll tell you why I'm not doing Seattle approach. Is because this is going to be such a short flight that we're not going to need flight following. Here's literally what we're going to do. While I'm waiting here, I'm going to go ahead and just set this because I might as well. I'm going to go right, nearest. KTIW. Direct, activate. And there you go. It's 20 miles, almost on the nose. So just go ahead southwest, pop over Puget Sound, Little Short John. There it is, 19.7 it says to KTIW. So this is a beautiful short flight. We don't need approach. We'll have ground, tower. We'll get the weather at KTIW. We'll call KTIW tower. Now, Pilot Edge, I don't think tower is KTIW, so we're going to treat it as an uncontrolled runway, and that'll be fine. You know, it's uncontrolled airport. That's we've dealt with that before. Okay. The next thing we want to do is we want to set our transponder. We're going to set that to alt, 1200 alt. We're squawking VFR alt, which is exactly what we want to do. All right. Next thing we want to do is we want to set ATIS, heading, and alt bugs. So ATIS, we got the ATIS. They told us that altimeter is 29907. So we're going to click here. We're going to do Barrow, 29907, just like that. Make sure that it's 20. That's the field elevation. So that all jibes with what we would expect. And we'll use field elevation to set this altimeter. There you go. Okay. That part's done. Next thing we want to do is set our heading bug. I use heading bug 135. That's the runway heading for runway 14 here. I'm going to set the alt bug to 2,500.
Seattle Center Sky 480 on the ground, Olivia IFR to standpoint, first leg of the Sky 6.
Nice, we got a little activity today. I like that. Okay, so we did the radios, we did ATIS, heading, altitude.
Sky 480 Seattle Center.
We set nav. We set transponder. Let's go ahead and bring our
the
flaps up.
I have on file
boom, boom, boom.
shows. Stand by one. Let me check.
Okay, flaps are coming up. Let's get our lights on. Taxi, nav. Now, I learned from my check instructor, you don't turn your strobe on until you're ready to take the runway.
Standpoint, airport
I didn't know
filed,
that, but I do now.
IC1 departure. IC is filed. Maintain 12000.
Brian's got a simulated check ride, or not a simulated check ride. I'm sorry.
Hold for release.
I'm getting caught up in this radio transmission. So Brian, you got a check ride coming up soon.
Sky 40.
That's awesome.
Cleared,
I wish you
the
absolutely the best. You're going to have a great flight.
IC transition then is filed. Climb maintain 12000 132.6 2266.
All right, let's see. Make sure. Okay, so strobe off, landing off. That's what my instructor told me to do. And let's go ahead and do our before taxi
Sky 40
checklist to make sure we didn't miss anything.
advice.
Avionics on, radios, transponder. Yep, we did those. ATIS alt heading. Yep, standby instruments. We checked those. Yes, we did. Set those. Flaps retracted. They are retracted. Parking brakes released us. Okay, we forgot to do our parking brakes or our brake test. So I'm going to go ahead and scooch forward. All right, brakes are good.
Open Center, Challenger 276 Golf Charlie, flight level 340.
All right, I'm going to go ahead, bring it onto the line. We'll call ground and get out of here.
Two 276 Golf Charlie, Oakland Center, thank you.
Watch out for that! Watch out for that car. All right, I'm going to go ahead and just kick on the parking brake for a second here. All right, we do not need this open anymore. Close that. And let's see, what do we have for? We got Sierra, so I'll go ahead and call in and let them know that we're gonna be going west. So I'm gonna go ahead and ask for the Vashon departure. And Vashon departure is 14 right, so I actually am realizing I want to expect, instead of 118.3, I actually want 120.6. There we go. I've pre-prepped the tower on that. Okay, parking brake off. Boeing. Ooh, I'm getting crosstalk. Why am I getting crosstalk? What have I set that's wrong? This is going to be very strange. Hearing myself is going to be really, really weird. I don't like this and I don't want this, but I feel like something is going on with my comms and I may have no choice. Well, Boeing ground Cessna 9906 Tango Alpha with Sierra, Galvin, Vashon departure. Hope they heard me. Come to
996 Tango Alpha, Boeing ground, take us in direction of flight.
6 Tango Alpha will be departing to the west.
996 Tango Alpha, runway 14 right, taxi via Alpha.
14 right, taxi via Alpha, 6 Tango Alpha. Okay. Let's go. Wind's variable at 3, so we can take any heading that we think is reasonable for our run-up. I'm going to do what's expedient for me, and I'm going to point north so I can make an easy left turn to get lined up for the hold short runway 14 right. Wasn't using my plate. Should have used my plate, though I know where 14 right is. I come to this joint a lot.
Seattle Center, Sky High 40, number 1 ready for departure, runway 15, Libby.
Sky 480, release for departure, clearance void if not off in 3 minutes. If not off in 3 minutes, advise Seattle Center, event 1010, 3 minutes, change to advisory frequency approved.
Sky 40 is
Okay.
released, if not off within 10, or if not off within 3, we'll advise in 10. Sky 40.
All right. Let's make sure our brakes are in. We're going to do our before takeoff checklist. Make sure that seats and seatbelts are fastened. They're good. Oh, I should honestly have those on my ears. How about that? Doors, windows, closed, locked. Good to go there. Let's see, what else we need to do? We need to go ahead and test our autopilot and electric trim systems. So go ahead and test electric trim. Electric trim is good. We're going to test autopilot by deflecting our heading bug. Actually, we deflected it way over to 135, so that's actually awesome. I'll show you this. I'll press heading and AP, and it moves my yoke for me. I can override it plus AP disconnect. Autopilot is successfully tested. Now it always messes with my trim when I do that, so I'm going to reset trim for takeoff. And that part is done. Electric trim and trim set for takeoff and autopilot have been tested. Let's see, what's next? Fuel quantity, fuel selector valve, and mixture. So fuel quantity, make sure we're still good. Yes, we have 24 in each tank, so we got 48 gallons at very least. We'll call it 45 to be safe. Check we're on both tanks. Yes, fuel shutoff is in. Yes, mixture rich. Throttle to 1800. Alright, we're going to go ahead and let it stabilize for a second here. There we go. Alright, left mag. Down 100. Back to both. Right mag. Down, looks like 100. Back to both. And it's good at 1800. Check engine instruments. Fuel flow is good. Oil pressure is green. Temperature is green. VAC is green. EGT has gone down. We would expect that because we're running really rich. And yep, we checked VAC, we checked amps. Amps are plus, so we're good to go there. Here's another thing that they told me. You know, I normally check the I check amps by running the flaps up and down. Do not do that, says my check instructor. That's an old way of doing things, and you can burn out your flap motors really fast by doing that. So if you want to check your amps, go ahead and just turn on your pitot heat. You may not see a whole lot there. You can check for the wiggle if you're putting your flaps up or down normally as part of your checklists as you depart. But that's all you really need to know, is you need to know that the alternator is working. Let's see if there's anything else I need to do here. Annunciators, yeah, check. Throttle check. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and idle it.
Sky 480, saddle center, right down.
And back to 100. Sounds healthy. All right, and we want to set GPS, FMS, and CDI. We've already done that when we were on the ramp, so CDI looks good, and we'll just fly the magenta line. Well, not exactly, but close enough. Autopilot off, transponder set, lights is required, parking brake release. All right, did we hit everything? We did. All right, before takeoff checklist complete, let's go ahead and get on the line. Check right. You know what? No, we didn't. No, we didn't. Flight control's free and correct. All right, let's do the box. Full left deflection. Full aft deflection. Full right deflection. Full forward deflection. Center, and take off the pressure, and let's waggle those rudders. Waggle those rudder pedals. All right, there we go. Flight controls free and correct. Before takeoff checklist complete, let's get back on the line. All right, we'll go ahead and switch over to COM 1. Listen to the tower there. Normally, it's pretty busy, the airport, so you want to be thinking about not getting in people's way as you do this work. So when you get to the line here, you better be ready to call in. The only thing that I was thinking is to make sure that I have my document up that shows what the departure is. So this is south departure, window 14 Vashon, 14 right, maintain 700 feet, right downwind over river. At the Boeing tent hangars, left turn to the north tip of Vashon Island, remain south of Lincoln Park, below the Bravo. Past Chief South, climb to 1500, and over the shoreline, you can climb to 2500. So. Yeah. All right. Let's go ahead and hit COM 1 mic. Boeing Tower, Cessna November 9er 6 Tango Alpha, holding short runway 14 right, Vashon departure.
November 9er 6 Tango Alpha, Boeing Tower, course approved, runway 14 right, clear for takeoff.
Departure approved, clear for takeoff 14 right, 6 Tango Alpha. Okay, so lights, landing and strobes on. Camera, make sure we're running 1200 alt on our transponder. Action, mixture is rich. Let's go! I'm excited to see the new and improved Tacoma Narrows, and it won't take us any time at all to get there. It's going to be fantastic. Here we go. 1-4 right. We've got a lot of room to play with right here. This is a big, big runway. Let's go ahead and get ourselves a nice takeoff roll. Here we go. And looking for 55. Nose up. Don't need to yank it, just be nice and steady. Climbing out at VY. And we're going for 700 feet. That's going to be our crosswind turn. And when we make that turn, we're actually going to stay at 700 feet as we go as we crosswind and then turn onto downwind over the Duwamish. As soon as we hit those Boeing tent hangars, we can actually go over the hill, make that turn to the west. Okay, so there's 500 feet. Make sure that we're hitting that extended center line and we're not drifting. We're doing really well. We're right on the extended center line. We're climbing a little bit too shallow. Alright, there's 700, so we're going to go ahead and make our turn. We're going to go, that's going to dump our lift, which is good. That's what we want. Because we do not want to continue to climb, even though that's exactly what I'm doing. I'm going to go ahead and bring my throttle back. And we're looking for the reciprocal of 1-4. Wow, look at that rain shadow. Ah, maybe it's just a regular shadow. I don't know. I'm going to go ahead and use my electric trim and drive my trim down a little bit. Okay, we're looking for those white tents, the Boeing hangars. That's them right there. It's also the bus barn, but you can't see that on the left. So we're going to go ahead and make our turn now. And we're turning for the left, or for the north tip of Vashon. There we are, pointed correctly. And we want to hold basically 800 until we hit Lincoln Park High School. When we do that, then we can climb to 1100. Once we're past Chief South there, right on the coast, we can climb to 1500. And then once we're halfway over the water, we can climb to 2500, which is going to be our cruising altitude for approximately 9 minutes. It really feels low, doesn't it? The poor folks there who have to, listen to yahoos like me flying past them every single day. And I'm going to say this is pretty much where the high school is, so I'm going to go ahead and give it a little bit of nose up, and up we go. Give it some throttle. Yeah, there's 1100. Bring that RPM back. I actually think that maybe Lincoln Park High School is Chief South High School. Maybe that's what they call it. So maybe I should climb to 1500. What do you think? Let's go ahead and do that. Give it some more gas. 1,500. We're going to range in. We're going to be passing the little arc here. That's going to be KBFI's Class Bravo Airspace Arc, or Class Delta Airspace Arc. And once we're out of that, we can go ahead and tune to the practice frequency, which I will do right now. And there's 1500. Look at that. All right, we're not done climbing yet, so when we do this next leg here, I want to go ahead and do our en route climb checklist. Airspeed 70 to 85 knots, throttle full, mixture, lean, or as required. So, okay, we're halfway over the water now, so we're clear to go ahead and climb. Climb for 2,500. And my throttle was full, so I would have overspeeded there if I hadn't been so close to climbing. Not a great thing to do, but there you go. All right, so we are climbing for 2,500. And as soon as we cross Vashon down here on the left, I'm going to go ahead and hit direct 2 again and get a new line, get a new magenta line for Tacoma Narrows. I'll go ahead and do that right now. Arrgh. There we go. We'll go ahead and make a turn. And we're continuing to climb to 2,500 as we go. There's 2,400 or 2,450, 2,480. We're going to go ahead and settle in right there. All right, it's a little hazy up here. Okay, I'm going to pull that throttle back to 2,400. All right, we have we're on cruise, so we're going to do our cruise checklist. We know that it needs to be 2,100 to 2,700 RPM as our target. We want to go ahead and put nose to the horizon and trim out. And lean as required. Now, we're below 3,000, so we're not going to be messing with the mixture right now, so we're doing okay. I'm going to go ahead and recenter my heading bug. I'm going to set it right there. I'm going to hit heading, alt, autopilot. Oh boy. All right, well, we're settled in. Doing pretty good. We've got time for a nice chill song. Whoa, Count Dracula. Whoa. No, thank you. Let's try another one. It's not bad. All right, so how close are we to KTIW, right? We're 12 miles, so let's go ahead and dial in. The weather at KTIW. 12405. Not hearing it. It's kind of weird. I'm seeing it. It's wind 240 at 5. KTIW wind 240 at 5. Visibility more than 10. Rain. Information Oscar. Sky conditions broken 5,000. Rain. Oh, there it is. Temperature 12, dew point 8, 2997. 17.
Sky conditions 5,000 broken. Temperature 12, dew point 8. Altimeter 2997. Arriving runway 17. Departing runway 17. Advise on initial contact. You have Oscar.
Oscar. Switch it over. Count to Mike. 118.5. Tacoma Tower, Cessna 996 Tango Alpha is 9 miles north with Oscar. Full stop. Yeah, I do not believe that Tacoma Narrows is towered, so we're going to treat, it's not towered with Pilot Edge, so we're going to go ahead and treat it as if it were just an untowered airport. So what we'll do is we'll tell our intentions. Now, it's landing 17, our heading is 18, so we're a little off the magenta line, so I'm going to go ahead and take manual control here. And we're going to start our descent checklist. So descent checklist, power is required. Pull it back to 2100 and we'll just start descending. Mixture as required. ATIS AWAS receipt and altimeter set. 29907 is our correct altimeter. CDIF, MS, and GPS are review brief. So we're going to get back on the magenta line and we're going to go ahead and do straight in runway 17. Fuel selector both and flaps is required. So fuel selector is on both. Yes, flaps as required. We'll go ahead and start kicking in flaps when we get a little bit closer. Belay that. I'm going to go ahead and put in a notch of flaps now. And that'll help us steepen out the descent. Will help us. It's a drag device. It's going to help us slow down. That's important. Okay, we're on the magenta line. Let's bring it on over. Well, magenta lines ain't everything. Because, of course, we're not doing a course 17. We're doing a direct 2. So it was pointing us from the northeast. So obviously we're off. We don't want to fly the magenta line. We want to fly the runway heading. So I'm going to use the heading bug and set heading 17. And then as soon as I see a visual that we're looking correct, I'll go ahead and turn back. But clearly we need to be going right for lineup. Okay, got Tacoma Narrows Bridge out there on the left. And we're going to review really quick what the runway, it's 295 MSL, so pattern altitude is 1300. We'll do a full stop landing and then we'll come back and then do a full stop taxi back. I want to do a quick lap of the airport, this new and improved airport that we're going to come see. Okay, we're now in a 4-mile final. I'll go ahead cut the throttle back some more, increase our sync rate, also decrease our speed. We need to be below 85 knots. Since we're at 85 knots, we'll go ahead and bring it down to 30 degrees of flaps. So it'll be 2 more clicks. There's 85. There's 20 degrees. Electric trim to counteract the nose up tendency. And there's 30 degrees of flaps. Some more electric trim. The electric mayhem. And now we're going to go ahead and throttle up and get ourselves on the proper approach speed, which is 65 knots. That's 240 at 5. So we actually have about a 45 degree right to left crosswind, 5 knots. It's not nothing. I mean, that's going to be 2.5 effective crosswind component. So there's a little bit of a right to left. Should blow us back towards the towards the east shore here of Puget Sound, but the east shore of this landmass. But I don't think it's going to do it too hard. Okay, we're on 65. Keep that nose pointed, and let's do our before landing flow. Both tanks, fuel shutoff is in, mixture is rich, keys are both, master is on, lights are as required, seats are fastened, seatbelts fastened, and autopilot is off. We got plenty of gas. Doing good. Before landing checklist is complete. Okay, we're holding 65 knots. We're high according to the lights. So let's go ahead. I'm going to throttle down a little bit. I'm going to push the nose over. So we're trying to maintain that 65 while still increasing sync rate so that we can get on glide path, because right now we're flying too high. We're flying above it. I haven't been making my calls. I absolutely should have been making my calls. Tacoma Narrows traffic, Cessna 996, Tango Alpha's on 1.5 mile final, runway 17 full stop, Tacoma Narrows. There you go. Okay, we're 64, so we're a little bit shy on speed, so I'm going to go ahead and point that nose down again. I'm also going to go ahead and lower that RPM so we increase our sync rate some more. There's 500 feet, 550 feet per minute, 600 feet per minute, and we're still on 65 knots. So we're I wouldn't say we're plummeting out of the sky, but we're coming down pretty good. We should watch for red lights. We watch for those red lights to show up. I'm going to continue to drop my... I'm going to go ahead and go all the way idle and watch for red lights. I'm expecting some, so I'm going to go ahead and throttle up in order to get ahead of it. There's one red. There's two reds. Probably going to be three here before long. There's three. We're clearly a little bit low. We're right where we want to be, though. I think we're going to be okay. We're going to cross the threshold. We're going to look to the edge of the runway. As we pull up, we're going to go idle on the throttle. There's that bubble again. And keep that nose up. Nose is down. Aerodynamic braking. All right. Go ahead and power up on the... I think this is supposed to be a turnoff, is it? Absolutely not, apparently. Oops. That's odd. I thought there was a turnoff there. Let's go find where the actual turnoff is supposed to be. Where is it? Ah, it's right here. Okay. Well, that was my bad. That was not so lovely. But let's take a quick tour. Let's take a quick tour because this is just fantastic. There's Pavco. I've actually been there. I've refueled at Pavco. It's wonderful. Turn your landing lights off, Charles. Stop blinding everybody. Customs and Border Protection. Here's the hub, the cafe, the tower. Narrows Aviation should be right here. Here's the little stand with the picnic areas. Hi, Mom. Yeah, this is fantastic. It's absolutely perfect. This is exactly right. They even had the right number of turnoffs. I'm sure they did because I totally got it wrong. I'll take a look at my plate to be absolutely sure, but I think that that they got it. All right. So I'm supposed to be calling ground. I know that. I'm not gonna do that. I'm actually gonna go ahead and just continue and head back to 17, and we'll do a takeoff, and we'll head back to Boeing. The new and improved Tacoma Narrows Airport. I'm very, very happy with this. This is just a great model. Thank you, Orbex. Really, really cool. Thanks for building a great airport near my hometown that looks like the real thing, and I can vouch for that. It really does. So I kept the engine running and the prop turning so we don't have to do another run up. Just wanna kind of keep moving here. I think that's the name of the game today. Kind of on the clock. All right, I'm just going to check something real quick. There's supposed to be 1, 2, 3, 4 turnoffs on the runway. Alpha 1, 2, 3, and 4. I only saw 2, maybe 3 turnoffs. So I missed something, and I turned where I thought there was going to be a turnoff, and there wasn't one. So Should turn my strobe off too. I'll turn those on when I take the runway. Tacoma Narrows Tower, Cessna 996, Tango Alpha, taking runway 17, entering left downwind. Tacoma Narrows. I'm going to go ahead and do a loop in the pattern. I think that's really important. Now, make sure I got this right. It better be left traffic on 17. Yep, 17 is left traffic. Currently has best wind, so that's good. I did not do my before landing checklist, so we're going to want to do our after landing checklist. We're going to want to do that, otherwise we're going to be taking off with full flaps, which is wrong. Flaps up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Mixture would have been lean. I'll go ahead and lean it and then turn it back correctly. Trim set for takeoff. Bzzz. Okay, so we're here. We're ready to go. Lights, landing strobe, camera, Alt 1200 action, mixture full rich. Let's take the runway. Runway 17, that's what we would expect. Let's go, rock and roll. And we are up. And we'll climb for VY. So we're 300 off the ground here, so we're looking for 1,000 feet MSL before we make our turn to crosswind. Does that make sense? Field elevation plus 700. That tends to be what I follow in the pattern, so off we go. Okay, there's 700 over 700 MSL. We're looking for 1,000 MSL, still climbing out at 75, very close to VY. Maybe we can just take a slightly bigger bite. There's 1,000. We're going to go ahead and keep climbing. We're looking for 1,300. That's the magic number for us in the pattern. Tacoma Narrows traffic, Cessna 996, Tango Alpha, turning left crosswind, 17, touch and go. Tacoma Narrows. Okay, and we're looking at the reciprocal because we had our heading bug set. And it usually is, once you establish crosswind, is right when you're supposed to hit your pattern altitude, and we did, and that's awesome. And let's see, I'll go ahead and turn now. I might be turning just a touch early. And we're a little high. Tacoma Narrows traffic, Cessna 996, Tango Alpha, turning left downwind, 17, touch and go, Tacoma Narrows. Okay, and there's our reciprocal. We're going right over the bridge. Right over that bridge. It's beautiful. I've done this route a lot. This is my second solo. My second pattern solo was Tacoma Narrows. It was a great experience. I mean, I love BFI. Don't get me wrong. It's my home. But to be able to solo over the Tacoma Narrows Bridge like this and do 3 laps in a beautiful sunset, it was a magical moment. And, I might try to recreate that in Microsoft Flight Simulator just for the visuals, you know. Okay. This all feels pretty good. We're at pattern altitude 1,300. We're past the numbers, so we should have done flaps 1, and we're watching to be numbers off by 45 off our shoulder there. The field's about 3/4 up the strut, so we're probably a little bit far. So we're going to have to kind of swing around on an extended base, but that's all right. No big deal. Okay, we're starting to lose a little altitude, which is what we want to do. I'm going to go ahead and start our base turn. Tacoma's narrows traffic. Cessna 996, Tango Alpha turning left base, runway 17, touch and go, Tacoma Narrows. And we're going to go ahead and kick our throttle down. We need to get on to 20 degrees of flaps. We got to be below the white arc to be able to deploy them. So throttle comes down. Nose basically stays where it is. We're now 200 feet below pattern altitude. There's our 85 in the white arc. Flaps to 20 degrees. We're shooting for 75 knots on base. And we're looking. That looks pretty good. We're going to go ahead and do our left turn. Tacoma Narrows traffic, Cessna 996, Tango Alpha, turning final, 17, touch and go, Tacoma Narrows. And it's 75, there we go, final. We're going to put in the last notch of flaps. We're going to recenter on the center line because Charles turned final too late. I see 2 reds over white, that's awesome. That means we're right on glide path. We're shooting for 65 knots. We're back on center line. Life is good. Give it some extra oomph here. Maybe a little too much oomph. Work your trim out. And I'm just a little... I'm having to kick in. I'm going to have to crab just a little bit. Just a touch. I'm going to push the nose over. Get a little more speed. I drifted high of the center. I drifted high a glide path while I wasn't thinking about it. That wasn't the best thing to do. Okay, coming down. Okay, there's 1 red. I'm giving it a little bit of gas because I expect 2 reds right about now. Oh, only Charles knows what he's talking about sometimes. Alright, 17 is made, 65 knots. Enter the round out, look to the edge of the runway, go ahead and pull back all the way to idle. Be looking, bleed off that energy, Keep that nose up, and nose is down. And it's touch and go, so it's 1, 2, 3 on the flaps. Full power, let's go. Looking for 55. We've got it. We're up. Okay, climbing for 74. Love you, Tacoma Narrows. Always a special place in my heart. Okay, at 1,000 feet, we'll go ahead and turn left crosswind. And then we'll go ahead and turn left downwind as we approach our pattern altitude. And then we'll actually stay on the downwind and just depart. There's 1,000. Keep climbing. Make your turn. Stay coordinated and keep climbing at VY. Tacoma Narrows traffic, Cessna 996, Tango Alpha, left crosswind. And we're turning for Tacoma Narrows traffic, Cessna 996, Tango Alpha, turning left downwind, north departure, Tacoma Narrows. We're just telling people that we don't intend to stay in the pattern. We're going to go somewhere else. Alright, so go ahead and pull the throttle back to our cruising speed, our cruising RPM, 2,400. We're just a little high on pattern altitude. I just want to get back down to 1,300 to be absolutely kosher. She's trimmed out. She's happy. right on the reciprocal. Doing 351 right on the reciprocal where we should be of our 17. Yes, it's 350. That's the reciprocal of 17, Charles. And we're making good cruising speed. Very happy. There's midfield, so I'm going to go ahead and just go ahead and climb out and depart. Tacoma Narrows traffic, Cessna 9906, Tango Alpha, the left downwind, departing to the north. Last call this frequency, Tacoma Narrows. And that's it. So we're going to go ahead and climb out to 2,500. Yeah. Feeling pretty good, huh? Later. It weren't no trouble at all. Now we look at these clouds. Maybe we can get 2,500, maybe we can't. I suspect we'll be all right, but we may need to take a slightly lower cruising altitude, and that wouldn't really be the worst thing since we're going to be coming down pretty soon anyway. Mm, 2,500 seems okay. There's 2,400. And we'll go ahead and put that nose down. Whoa, ho, ho, ho. Real world weather change. Happens every 15 minutes, folks, right on the dot. You can set your watch by it. Please stop by the gift shop. All right. I'm going to go ahead and heading bug, and I'm going to go ahead and do heading, altitude, autopilot. Autopilot is live and holding heading. Oh. All right. Cruise, power 21 to 2,700 RPM. Yeah, trim is required, mixture is required. Doing good. How are engine instruments looking? Fuel flow, oil pressure, oil temperature good. EGT is low, vac is high, plenty of fuel, so we're looking good. Let me go ahead and think about our next thing we want to do. So I'm going to do click, click. KVFI combo breaker. $13 miles, no trouble at all. 2370 RPM. Feeling good. The plane is happy. The plane is happy and running smooth today. Florida door check. Both. Mixture is rich. Keys both. Masters on. Lights is required. We're running the autopilot, but the autopilot is happy. Fuel flow, oil pressure, oil temperature, vac are all green. EGT is low because we are high mix. Alrighty, let's go ahead and get the weather at KBFI. We'll get ready on the tower frequency there. Whoa. Okay, they changed it. It's Tango.
County Airport. 8, information Tango. 2153 Zulu. Wind variable at 3. Visibility 10. Few clouds at 4,100. Few clouds at 5. wind 500 broken. Temperature 15, dew point 7, altimeter 29908. Arriving and departing runways 14 left, 14 right. Visual approaches in use. Simultaneous approaches.
We had a slight baro change, 29908, so we'll go ahead.
Expect aircraft above you on final. Read back
There we
all
go.
runway assignments. Code short instructions. Advise on initial
All right.
contact. You have information to
So we know that means we're going to be doing south arrival, runway 14. We'll do the Blake arrival. It's going to be 120.6.
2153 Zulu. Wind variable at 3.
All right, there we go. On COM 1 mic, and we know that when we do this, we're going to hit Blake Island here, which is directly ahead of us. Thank you very much. Nice music. All right, we're going to hit the Blake Island, which is to the left here, and then we're going to shoot over to the right. We're going to have to get down to 1500 for Lincoln Park, so I'm going to go ahead and just tell it we're going to want to descend to 2000. I'll go ahead and just take it from here. And we'll bring it down to 2100 RPM and just let it drift on down naturally. Oh, what's your problem now? There we go, we're coming down at 350 feet per minute. Really not a problem at all. Nice and simple, nice and easy, and we're still making good time, 108 knots. All right, we got 120.6 dialed in. We know we've got the weather. We'll let them know we want a full stop. And we'll just do what they tell us as we come on in. Let's do our descent checklist, make sure things are all cool. Power is required, yes. Mixture as required, should be rich, it is. ATIS AWAS received and altimeter set, we did that. CDI, FMS, and GPS review, we're flying, I just got a direct magenta line, I'm not going to follow up with fine. Fuel selected both. And flaps as required, we're not using flaps yet, but yep, tank selectors on both. Can't beat that. Yeah, there we go, now we're at 1800 and coming down. I gotta tell you, you know, Bruce is the man. You know, I keep thinking about, oh, what do I do with my nose? Nose down, nose up, this, that, the other thing. And he's like, just pull the power back, man. You want to come down, pull the power back. You just start descending. You want to level off? Like I'm going to level off right now. Just push the power back up. Look at that. Can't beat it. Can't beat it. It seems like such a simple concept, and maybe some cases, you know, maybe in many ways it is, but the darn trim is just okay. So that's Blake Island right there. And we got Tango. Boeing Tower, Cessna 906, Tango Alpha with Tango over Blake Island, full stop.
Over 906 Tango Alpha, Boeing Tower, in at the right base, runway 14 right, runway 14 right, clear to land.
Right base for runway 14 right, clear to land, runway 14 right, 6 Tango Alpha. Sweet. You heard him.
Seattle Center, Sky High 480 is on the ground standpoint, cancel IFR.
Sky High 480 IFR, cancellation received.
Alright, right base.
November 79069 Oakland Center.
Now, he didn't ask me to report over Lincoln Park or anything, and so rather than go Lincoln Park and then dogleg around, I'm going to go ahead and set myself up for a right base from the get-go, which means cutting over to the north a little bit more than I normally would on the official Blake arrival. But I'll do what the tower tells me to do, and I'm going to set up a a right
Number
base that I
796
feel
center,
comfortable
Oakland.
with. While we're thinking about it, let's do our before landing checklist. Floor to door. Both tanks, fuel shutoff is in, mixture is rich, keys are in both, master is on, lights are as desired, autopilot is off, seatbelts fastened, plenty of gas. Before landing checklist is complete. Seatbelts upright secure, fuel selector valve both, mixture both is required, autopilot off, lights is required. Yep. That's your checklist. I did the thing. I verified using my checklist. That's what you're supposed to do. Did my flows, did my checklists. Did my flows. My head would explode. Blake, north end of Lincoln Park, 1500. I'm actually a little bit low. 1500 over Lincoln Park? That doesn't sound right. Because this is pattern altitude at this point. I should probably be higher than this. I'm going to split the difference and do 1300. Alright, let's go take a look over there. What's that? The airport? It is. Alright, so of course now as we cross Lincoln Park, we'll go ahead and descend down to pattern altitude, so we'll bring it down. I'm going to go ahead and put in the first notch of flaps. We really want to come on down. And when we hit 85, that's notch 2. Using our electric trim to counteract the bubble. Let's look over there. It's an extended base, for sure. We've got a long way to go. We got a 3-mile final. I ain't even mad though. Go ahead and put that nose up a little bit. Not time yet. Oh, and let's set that heading bug. Oh, God. All right, let's go ahead and turn. One 40. We're way low. So I'm going to go ahead and just climb. Flaps to 30. And what we're going to do is we're going to get to 65. All right, 64. There we go, 500 feet. Clear to land 14 right. We know we're clear. We got the clearance. The runway's ours. Don't have to stress. Don't have to rush. We own that big old patch of asphalt. I feel like there's supposed to be a PAPI system here, but for some reason there isn't. I think we are a touch low. Yeah, I'd believe it. But you can see our sink rate's not all that big. Okay, we're over the threshold. Okay, we're going to look ahead. Not on center line, but I'm pretty proud of that nice, soft, mains first yet positive landing. All right, we're going to have to cross 1-4 left here. Boeing Tower System 996, Tango Alpha is off at Alpha 4. Permission to cross 1-4 left for parking at Galvin.
November 6 Tango Alpha, cross runway 14 left, join Alpha to park and remain this frequency.
Cross 1-4 left to join Alpha to parking, remain this frequency, 6 Tango Alpha. Blech. There's cross 1-4 left. That's what we want to do. We want to get off all the runways. Get off all the runways. And then we can do our after landing checklist. All right, so we know what we got to do. Flaps up. 1, 2, 3. We got to do mixture, lean for the ground. We got to do lights as required, strobe and landing off. We got to set our trim for takeoff, and let's verify that. Flaps up. Mixture, we did that. Lights as required. Trim set for takeoff. After landing checklist complete. Whoa, it's beautiful. And the instructor said, taxi no faster than 12 knots ground speed, so easy there, speed demon. There's 12 knots. Doesn't feel like much, but but that's what you get. I can give it a little bit more power than that to get us up to 12 knots. We're coming back to Galvin. There's that 12 knots again. It kind of looks like you're really cooking when you look out the side like this. It's like, oh no, we're actually making pretty good time. I mean, it's no 125 or 128 knots ground speed, but when you're on the ground with a big lawnmower blade in front of you, you want to kind of proceed at a thoughtful pace. You know what I'm saying. Alright, there's that. Nice slow down, and we're going to go ahead and pull it in for parking.
November 1227 uniform, contact Seattle Center 121.4.
Contact Seattle Center on 121.4, Skyhawk 27 uniform.
Alright, we're going to go ahead and do shutdown. Avionics master switch off. Electrical equipment off except for beacon. Throttle to idle. Mixture to idle cutoff. Throttle idle. Mixture idle cutoff. Alright. Keys to off. And we'll go ahead and put those on the dash. There we go. Master off. Standby off. We'll put in the control lock. Tank to left. To prevent crossfeed. Shutdown checklist complete. Let's go ahead and yank our cables. Pah! Woo-wee! Yeah, we'll walk around real quick and we'll do our RBFs and the chocks and the tie downs and all that other stuff. All that jazz. Yeah. Oh, check the Hobbs time and all that other stuff, and we'll go ahead and lock it up for the night. Well, that was fun. Got a lot out of that. It was nice to, my mind anyway, I think it was nice to be able to run things a little bit smoother, not to have to rely on the checklists all the time. You know your flows, and then use your checklist to verify. It was good. I like the TIW route. It feels like kind of a commuting route, and I enjoy being there. TIW is a beautiful airport. Love the Orbex scenery. I thought that was a really, really good scenery pack, and those places are exactly what's there. From Pavco to the hub to the little stands with the picnic tables. So that was fun. There's more to do. There's always more to learn, of course. But hoping for some real flying coming up here soon. Again, for those that missed it, the big news is I did pass my Stage 2 check. So coming up in the next couple of weeks, I actually have my first solo cross-country for real scheduled on May the 14th. So cross your fingers for good weather, and I'll be simming it to prepare. So should be probably up north. Bellingham, maybe to Orcas Island, something like that. We'll figure out a good route, and I'll have an alternate, which will be west out to Port Angeles. So that's it for today. Happy weekend, everybody. Great to see you. Great to be with you, and we'll do some more flying again soon.